Hi, I'm Amber Williams from the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. This was my master's thesis project with my advisor, David Copeland. My research was ostensibly about stereotype consistency bias, this idea that folks remember stereotypical information better than anything non-stereotypical because it's cognitively easier. No one's really looked at this phenomenon for LGBT characters since the 1980s, and I wanted to investigate how LGBT stereotypes can be uniquely recalled since a person's LGBT status might not be immediately apparent. For this research, we recruited 103 heterosexual participants, 65% women in a very racially diverse sample, only about a quarter non-Hispanic white, who read a short story about two characters in a romantic relationship. They were randomly assigned to what gender characters they read about. After reading, we gave them both recall and recognition questions about the story characters' traits. I hypothesized that young adults would apply LGBT stereotypes more to gay and lesbian characters than heterosexual characters. That is, they would remember stereotypical information more easily. It turns out our participants tended to avoid selecting stereotypes. For recognition questions, folks avoided responses that were lesbian stereotypes when answering questions about a lesbian character, even when those stereotypes were completely accurate. They preferred saying this information was not provided about 40% more often. This suggests that they inhibited the lesbian stereotypes, either during encoding when building their situation model of the characters, or during this recognition process. For folks who answered questions about characters who were gay men, their pattern of responses was a little different, but the outcome was basically the same. Instead of inhibiting true stereotypes, they seemed to inhibit false stereotypes, while emphasizing counter-stereotypical answers, even when, in reality, the correct answer would be, this information was not provided. For recall questions, we saw similar, if less quantifiable, results. So here are some examples of what a couple of participants wrote when describing how this gay male character behaved. One person said, "He was very bitchy as he held back urges to roll his eyes. He's impatient and he's emotional," which is an activated stereotype. All those traits are stereotypes of gay men. Meanwhile, another participant stated, "He seemed fairly serious about his job and life, like he's not some sort of party animal," which shows them directly avoiding the stereotype that gay men are really into partying. We also found that male participants used descriptions of behaviors and emotions the most when talking about heterosexual characters, while avoiding those types of descriptions for gay men, instead applying personality traits like flamboyant to them. While stereotype inhibition is preferable to overt prejudice, it conveys that these LGBT stereotypes still exist in American culture, and some folks will continue perceiving gay men as impatient and emotional until we use findings like these to develop interventions to reduce stereotype use and homophobia. We're planning future research to explore this topic further with stereotypes for other groups, as well as measuring stereotype inhibition in different populations like older adults or people who identify as LGBT. Thank you!